Hello, this is Ametamartha with Collection Ascension. Tonight is the last quarter moon, December 26th, and this energy will go through to the new moon on January 2nd. Tonight, or every last quarter moon, I do a chaos magic rewrite. So what I'll do is get the energy initially, and then I'll pull the entire deck and intuitively place those cards where I feel they should go in order for me to influence the outcome through chaos magic. And so I'll make this a two-part video. If you are interested in just this portion, we have this one, and then there will be the remainder with the second. So getting into it, I ask for clear guided messages in order for me to attain the highest knowledge and wisdom, for me to channel guidance, advice, foresight, expectation, etc. That hangman and the empress didn't want to connect right away. Alright, let's go. Are you coming? Not quite sure about you guys, but I would assume that if I have been heavily influenced by the portals and the winter solstice and the energy we're in right now this week, that you might be too. But we've got good coming. I think it's all for a reason, this portal and all the energy that we've been experiencing with 1212 and 1221 and 333333333333. Has a lot to do with bringing up the things that are in our way, our obstacles. What is maybe something we're not seeing? We're doing collective shadow work as of late, the last few years, honestly. And I think this next year is going to be grandiose in that endeavor, and this is kind of just like the peak for this year before we continue to climb next year. So I'm pretty sure the Fool was in the reading last week, and we have him here in reverse, followed with the Four of Cups upright and the Seven of Wands in reverse. I feel like this means, to me, at least just putting them together in this order, what keeps us from feeling the way of the Fool. I think it's all in our head. It's a battle in our head. Okay, so we have the Fool in the balance. This is what we endeavor to be, what we strive for, what we could possess. Then we have the Four of Cups. And then we have the Seven of Wands in that order. So looking at them like this, reversed, upright, reversed. Imagine this is this is what we want to be. This is what we're creating. But this is an illusion since it's in reverse. Imagine all of the opportunities that we are granted in the present moment by grounding ourselves within that moment, anchoring ourselves into what is, because when we do that, we realize that literally everything is okay. If you close your eyes for a second, or, I guess you could look around you, but just like really grasping that nothing is ever actually going on. A lot of the time it is a mental battle. And look at this dude here sitting. It's like we're in our head. And this is what we're thinking about, but it's not real. It's not there. Because what we have on the table is the Fool. We could possess and embody this nature because this is our truest identity if we just get up, grab our cups, and keep going. Which, right on theme, because I've been doing a lot of this. Just trying to get myself out of it, you know? So then we immediately have the Wheel of Fortune paired with the Six of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles, which is really positive energy. So I think allowing ourselves to function at this level, process the shadow, shine light, transmute, that gives us the opportunity to make a new start, to where we could see these cups as a new possibility coming in for us and changing our perspective. And then we see the abundance and prosperity and just all of the different types of blessings rain down as they do, because really, like I said, it's all about perspective, right? You don't have to be manifesting your highest desire to have an abundance to be grateful for. So then also we have the Four of Swords, the Ace of Cups, and the Eight of Wands in reverse. So these two in reverse, upright. That to me says, like, he's sitting, like I said, this is, I don't think what we've been doing is constructive resting. It's more like monotonous. But as we've gotten through this, as we've allowed ourselves to get to that point so that we can transmute that energy and get back to where we were and put our intentions forward, we will get up and understand that this has served a higher purpose for our emotional understanding and our emotional approach with these cups in alignment here. We'll start to see that this is the bearer of a new, I wanted to say generation, but I guess that doesn't make sense. A new approach, I reckon. Just some more is coming. So much is coming, but we're not quite there yet with the Eight of Wands being a movement card and it being in reverse, so right now what we need to do is focus on that balance, balancing this out so that we can maintain that perspective when this card starts to upright itself. Can you give me some clarity on what is keeping the Fool, or the combination of the Fool and the Four of Cups? Ugh, okay. Well, I don't need to do this, I don't think. Nah. We got the Devil in reverse, which is just too much. Too much of this. Too much in our head. Too much thinking about what is wrong or what we're creating that's keeping the movement from coming. I mean, this is 7 and then the 8. That's, progression anyway. We got the wand here, cups, cups, cups. It's at the core of it, all of this is just us feeling bad, thus creating a negative reality, even though what's actually going on is a whole lot of good things. Just leaning into that perspective. Okay, sorry, I scared myself. Any last messages before? See, now we have the Hangman in reverse. So to bother with this, to continue this progression, tells me that what we're doing is actually disentangling ourselves from a previously established cycle that is so out of service at this point that we're really going to actually lay it to rest for good this time. And when we do, and we set off into our new adventure coming this new year, I feel a lot coming from this year. As we continue to get closer and closer to it, I feel like so much is going to reveal itself just as it unfolds naturally every moment of every day of that year. However, with the Hangman being in reverse, that means that we're not going to have any consequences. We've been in a state of consequence this whole time. And, with the Hangman being uprighted when I was trying to shuffle them and they not really connecting when it was in conjunction with the Empress, that makes me think about, okay, so the Empress is the mother of nature, you say, in a way. So what do we have? We have the cups, water, we have the wands, fire, we have the pentacles, earth, and then we have the swords, air. Those are all of the elements that the Empress is in control of. When we are in a state of imbalance, and we are hanging from our foot, just looking around, trying to gain perspective, because we see how our entire lives have unfolded because of our inner world creating that reality illusion. We can balance ourselves by gaining mastery over our nature, the elements within ourselves. So water, emotions, fire, spirit, air, action, and then earth, our physicality. So it's like our convictions and how we create our reality. So as we do this and we disentangle ourselves, we can then try again, and then those connections will become stacked, I guess, the way that the cards did on my second try, because we're putting in the effort to take control over ourselves, figure out what everything is for, see it for a higher purpose, and then allow it to lay itself to rest as we continue to just engage with the concept of abundance through gratitude and become the Fool and the Hangman in reverse and the Justice. Just countenance, Anything final before I move to the next deck, please? Yeah, see, now I have Temperance. And that was the card that I had spoken to earlier when I was saying, are you going to come out or not? So it's just like a bunch of positive energy. We've got the Devil at the top here, but like these three really positive cards at the bottom. So it's like, this is in our head. As above, so below. We're creating a reality of strife through imagining it and feeling how shitty it is without even putting any movement. We're like this, the embodiment of the concept of being stuck. The Eight of Wands in reverse, right? So, as we move forward and we decide that we're going to unstuck ourselves, we have angels and guides and ancestors and things that we can always call on for help at these times, because we need to actually verbally engage with these things for them to engage back with us. They can send us synchronicities and different types of symbols and signs all day long, but until we say that we want to actually do something or we want them to help us with something, that means nothing. So these are the oracle cards from the Asking Your Guides book, or Ask Your Guides book. I link it in the description every video because I think it is very beneficial. And so we're going to ask which guides wait for our interaction as we go through this process of attainment and ascension for the week. but this is still a different card. They've had their hand in this for weeks now. I might even say a month consistently, and I feel it. This is Joy Guides. But it's a new card, which is gifts. So it's like finally kind of getting to experience their influence as a gift more than a hindrance. Then we also have creativity guides with invention. We're reinventing ourselves, open canvas. Oh, shoot, I'm going to tell that to somebody specific. That's cool. And we also have devotion with our nature guides. Anything else? Anyone else? And is that it? Okay, that's all. And then priorities with our master teacher. This is a good spread. An interesting shift in color. Even that, I guess these two would need to be spun around for it to be really a gradation. But either way, they correspond in color. So we have gifts with our joy guides, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you that these cards constantly stay shiny, and it's really hard to get a good view. But joy guides are mischievous. Joy guides will piss us off to the point that we surrender. That's their point, at least. They'll think sometimes we can get so into the physical moment that oh, there she is again. That it could become difficult to engage with them and remember, but I've been really working on it. It's been a snare in my side my whole life. And as I engage with joy guides and I start getting pissy and I slow down enough to be like, okay, yes, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate your help. I know you're just trying to look out for me and show me that I'm getting deep into the script, and I'm just really in my head, really in my persona, and I'm forgetting who I am and how powerful that is. Thank you for this subtle irritation to remind me to just ground myself and be present and be happy, or just grateful in general, because life is a gift, is it not? Present. Happy Christmas, whatever. Yule. Either way, the gift is love, unconditional love. If we can attune our mind to be unconditionally loving and accept everything that happens to us as unconditional love from the universe, regardless of the struggle, and see it all as blessing anyway, then we can repaint our future with everything that we see and have around us, everything that we have provided for us all the time by our creative guides or creativity guides. This story came into my mind. I don't know where I got it from. Maybe a movie. I don't even know. But it's a swamp with a lotus flower, and you got one guy talking about how swampy the swamp is and how gross the water is and how he's got mud on his shoes, and the other person who's look at this lotus flower though, it'll only bloom under these circumstances. I'm butchering that, but that's what I thought about with this photo. It's the creativity guides might help us gain that type of perspective in murky waters, because really we get to decide what goes on this blank canvas. Are we having a shit experience, or are we living life like the fool? So then we got devotion with the nature guide. So it's going back into that metaphor out in nature. It's devoting ourselves to invent a reality experience for ourselves that comes from a deep connection to our spiritual nature. And the nature spirit's number is 44. That's my thing. 44 is about asking, remembering that your guides are around you all the time, that you are divinely protected, that you are divinely words fly out of my head. Just regarded, and just keeping that in perspective so that you can engage with what's going on around you all the time as such. And then that helps us also to interact with our master teachers by prioritizing. What are we taking with us on our journey? What needs to be left behind? Diminishing beliefs after these past 2 weeks. And I just think that to be able to put down the foundation of... Alright, I've got more imagery, sorry. Okay. If you've ever seen a Bob Ross painting tutorial, he likes to paint a blank canvas white first and then allow the damp white paint to help him blend his colors. And the way I was thinking about that is like, yeah, sure, we might have a blank canvas. Oh, okay. I said I needed to tell this to someone specifically, and I remember a metaphor I told them just now that's being brought back up. Okay, to be a blank canvas, it doesn't matter what the universe paints on us. It doesn't matter what we have imprinted in our spirituality from our experiences and interactions with our guidance and just our higher understanding in this awakening process. If the film is still on the canvas, nothing is long lasting. You take it off. It's not there. It didn't permeate the canvas. Now we're making ourselves ready for the paint. And we can put it on directly to the canvas, but it takes more effort because the colors won't blend as easy, and then also you have these little divots in the fabric of the canvas itself that you have to really saturate with paint in order to fill those cracks or gaps. So then to ready ourselves by taking that film off, painting down the canvas with white, it's a preparation for what we are going to create for ourselves. So doing that shadow work is like taking those layers, these priorities that we're coming into closure with. We're taking off that protective layer of the ego and putting it into a new perspective, readying ourselves with that white, which is, a purified, cleansed color. That's the symbolism of white. We're allowing ourselves to embody this higher nature, let go of what no longer serves us, and then we will paint our portrait of the reality we wish to live smoothly, because it all evenly blends when we do the work preemptively. Everything serves a purpose. I've had a hard week. And I've been trying to stay humble and grateful and proactive. And, it doesn't matter the way that our lives unfold, because it really is just a manifestation of our inner world, as long as we are willing to take everything in, feel into it, and then release it and be grateful. And remember who you are in the midst of it. You are divine. You are incredible. You are a co-creator of your experience. I saw that at 24:24 on the timestamp and heard to read that, so let's see what that said. I'm big into the angel numbers, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Anyway. 2424 tells you to be patient a little while longer, as parts of the bigger plan need to fall into place so that the right doors of opportunity present themselves at the exact right moment. Rather than jump at the first thing that piques your interest, wait for a clear, obvious sign that will guide you into the right direction. Do not be too hasty when making choices and decisions that have a long-term impact on your life. Think through the possible scenarios and outcomes that and pay attention to your emotions, as your feeling will clearly indicate which choices you should make. Trust your intuition and know trust your intuition and you will know which path to take. Trust yourself to continue on your current path, but only if that path feels totally right for you on all levels. And if not, change paths now. That's so cool. Okay. Honestly, I'm going to leave that there. So, to go back over which guides are here waiting for our engagement, we have our joy guides. Keep that in mind when you're starting to get wrapped up in the things that trigger this, because that's what they do. When your car doesn't work, when you walk all the way around and your door's locked, or a bag breaks, any of the little minor inconveniences that personally irritate you, that's joy guides trying to remind you who you are, which is God. And calm down, it's fine. Learn to laugh a little. Then we have the creativity guides with invention. Oh yeah, joy guides are with gifts. Invention with the creativity guides. Devotion with nature spirits. Maybe spend some time out in nature. And then priorities with the master teachers. That is what I have for you. Us. We. I think we're going to make it. And I think it's going to be real cool, real great. Fundamental changes are coming. And we've been preparing for a long time. So we're going to get there with like oomph instead of like humph, And it's all good. I know you're doing great. And you're going to keep doing great. Because I'm doing great. And I'm going to keep doing great. And we're one. And I love you. And please watch part 2. If not, have a good evening.